All right, everybody, welcome into the high noon broadcast. Hold on.
Talk to you for a second about maybe a plan for overflow.
Overflow.
Give me 1 second. We got some breaking news.
1134.
1134.
Yes, can you give us another 20 that's waiting on a bed?
At 1134, additional 20.
1204.
I'm clear from the lobby call, and you can keep me in service for now.
24, thank you, 1125.
132 to the unit at the front door to the school.
Medic 1151.
Give me a
Move up
second.
to station 54.
Just trying to see if I can turn this off.
Sheriff 1778, harass central booking out of service.
At 1125.
Calling medic 1143 checking.
Medical 43 checking.
Medical 43.
All right, a little bit of breaking news as we begin the show today. Out of Olaf, Kansas, Olaf High School, about an hour ago, there was a shooting that occurred.
44 transporting to Advent Health County Mission.
483 to the front of the building.
Monitoring the Johnson County
You
Police.
got a FBI agent coming your way, and I think there'll be several more on their way.
212 to any unit in the 100 hall.
724, I'm at the family video, helping with families.
Medic 1144 transporting to Advent Health County Mission. High volume, open, STEMI stroke.
44 cops, continue on.
Okay.
10-4, you get to clear as soon as they don't need you. 10-4.
Transporting 1KU.
212, you've got, I believe, a Prairie Village person on the downstairs and Raglan with stairs.
All right, so basically what happened in Olaf, Kansas, in Johnson County, there was a shooting at Olaf East High School.
Active occurred from College and Metcalf.
Medic 1132 transporting to KU.
All right, you know, I'm going to put this down.
1120, there's also a handful of civil units and a couple off-duty civil units signed on as well that are out on scene.
Engine 46 is clear.
Engine 46 clear.
14161 in Metcalf.
Dispatch Instant Command 163 is inquiring which unit number is Instant Command on this.
7, that's me. 1120, if they are not part of the oath or actively being used, they can clear.
1252, I'm 10-8. I'll be available for calls here in a second.
14-8, 1126. Engine 42, tech.
Patient contact engine 42.
Thank you, 1126.
Engine 527, quarter station 54.
Engine 527, quarters of 54.
1018, I'm just getting logged on. Does Olathe need help with calls?
T51 is assuming command.
120 systems case.
121 and 124.
All right.
That just occurred. Suspect took DRP's backpack blower, took off in a 4-door dark sedan, old model, northbound Metcalf, turned unknown direction of travel on College, meet DRP at McDonald's. 1126.
So
120. You can disregard one of those cards.
There's currently no calls pending for them, but yeah, if you can, we'll keep an eye out, and if you see any call that you're nearby, we'll try to dispatch it to you.
10-4.
Copy. 121, you can disregard.
212, there's 2 free units. Can you meet me in the 100 hallway?
1126.
all right, so Olaf East High School in Olaf, Kansas, there was a shooting just about an hour ago. I've been listening to this for the past hour, and
No, thank you.
the initial police on the scene. Okay,
Auto alarm. Building. Rescue engine 44.
here, you know, we're gonna get out of this. Oh,
10601. Metcalf Avenue.
all right, I'll monitor it through the hashtag. Olaf, Kansas, police school shooting. Kid walked into the school and he opened fire in the administration offices. What I've been able to tell from both the early news reports that are coming out and monitoring the police scanner there from Johnson County, Kansas. Yeah, I say this. I say this with, fingers crossed. It seems like it's okay. that there not, I mean, it's not okay, but it seems like we're not dealing with another Parkland here. There has been, there's a couple of conflicting reports on the scanner. The news reports that first came out said 2 people were shot, a school resources officer and the school principal. So that was the newspaper report. That was the first report to hit the news out of Olathe, Kansas. But then I started listening to the scanner and they started talking about sending multiple victims to multiple hospitals. Now, I don't know if that means people fell while running and broke legs or we got sprained ankles. As far as gunshot victims, it seems right now, let me just refresh this. It seems right now, the newspaper is still saying that there were only 2 victims, yet the scanner said that there were 3 victims, 2 critical, 1 non-critical. Here, let's see what this is. We'll get into the show. I'm just trying to figure out what is going on here and whether this is something that we should be following live as it develops here in the opening moments of the High Noon Show. And that's what this is. This is the High Noon Show. We do this each and every day, Monday through Friday. We come to you at noon and we go till whenever, and we try to bring you all of the day's hot topics, trending topics. If it's happening right now, we try and bring it to you. And well, this is happening right now. So let's, here's a video that someone made. So let's see what this is all about. Maybe this guy will be able to bring us up to speed. School shooting at Olathe East High School today. This is, let's see here.
This is what it looks like to be a parent picking your kid up after a school shooting.
All right, so not a lot of details here, just, oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Can't believe I'm going to be sending my kid off to American high schools in this era. Okay.
This is what it looks like.
All right, so we got that. Let's bear with me a second, folks, as I try and figure out. Johnson County is Kansas City, so this would be a suburb of Kansas City. Leslie, that's what she's saying. She's like the expert in that area. All right, let's see what the absolute latest is here coming off of the Olathe hashtag. Reports are that the shooter is in custody, but then there are also reports of another kid who is a friend of the shooter. This came over the scanner, who is at his house with a gun threatening to kill himself. So the police are all over there now. Breaking, a school resource officer and a school administrator have been shot at Olathe East High School in Kansas. A suspect is in custody. Now, this comes from KSLEJKansasCity.com, but that was posted 41 minutes ago. And I'm telling you, the police scanner, the police on the scene, calling in real time what they're seeing, says more than 2, at least 3, more than 2. You know, Kansas City school shooting injuries reported at Olathe East High School. Let's see, details from Olathe police on shooting inside Olathe East High School. 2 shot and wounded. School resource officer. Okay, this is 51 minutes ago, and the stuff I heard was within the last 20 minutes. 2 shot and wounded school resource officer and administration staff member, who's been described. In the papers, they're saying school administration staff member. I don't know what that means. The police officer who was on the scene performing chest compressions on the scanner, he said it was the school principal. So we don't know what this means. Again, this is happening right now, and Olathe is now beginning to trend on okay. To all the markets outside of Kansas/Missouri, Olathe is pronounced Olathe. 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 Okay. So it's not Olathe, it's Olathe High School. And we will just have to be following this. I don't know. All right, let's check what the Olathe police are saying. Let's see what the latest from their Twitter feed is. Twitter is so great for breaking news. Olathe police say Olathe East parents, Frontier Park 15501 Indian Creek Parkway will be used for staging and overflow of reunification with students. Let's see here. Olathe East parents, please come to family video to be reunited with your students. There are no injured students at this time and no active threat. Okay, so that's all good stuff. One gunshot was reported over the scanner as being a hip wound, and the other was more serious. And I believe that is the principal who is the more serious. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, it seems to be fairly under control. So, my God, do you know what I almost just said? I almost just said we almost dodged a bullet here. Thoughtless, just a completely. That was me telling on myself. My thoughtless, poor choice of words. Okay. All right. So I'll continue to follow that. And by the way, you guys in the chat room, you'll probably have a better perspective to chat this as we move on with the show here, because what we do is all the things that are trending here. If it's happening today, if it's a headline, we do it here on the noon show. We try to get you all prepped up for the day ahead. Everything that you need to know. Olathe. All right. Leslie says Olathe. Okay. All right. Well, somebody in Kansas City media just said that it should be phonetically pronounced Olathe, but I'm going to go with Leslie. I'm pretty much going with Leslie on everything these days. That's just how it goes. All right. Hold on. Let me just get everything. Sorry. I was all ready. I was ready to just hit the ground running, and then I just got obsessed with this thing, and that's what happened. I don't want to improve my Wi-Fi performance. Let's just. I got to switch over the Wi-Fi so that it's not completely dragging off the stream. We don't want to have any of those kicked off the air situations. Not okay. Leslie says not Olay. Okay, hold on. I don't know how much time we'll spend on this. Aletha? Aletha? Is that what you're saying? Like in gosh? Where does gosh come in? Olethash? Olay? I don't know. All right, welcome to the High Noon Show. We do all the things that are trending right now. That's picking up some steam. Olathe High School, East High School there in Kansas is picking up steam on the trend. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, seems the police have it under control. There is an interesting sort of side element, though, that was developing with the kid who claimed to be a friend of the shooter, who is in custody, who was, police received a call from the kid's father, who said that the kid was locked in his room and he had a gun and he was threatening suicide. So, oh my goodness. So who knows? Who knows what's happening here? All right. So today is March the 4th. It is the 63rd day of the year. There are 302 days remaining until the end of the year. Let's get into some more, let's try and distract ourselves from whatever sadness and terror is going on there in Kansas. Today is the national day. It's National Tartar Sauce Day. Do you like tartar sauce? I like tartar sauce. We're going to run through these because there are so many stupid days today. It is the National Day of just stupid days. That's what today is. National Tartar Sauce Day. That's the first one, though. Let me spend a minute on tartar sauce. Tartar sauce is one of the most underrated sauces there is. And don't you be thinking you only need to use it on fish. Tartar sauce is good on just about everything. There you go. That's my fat guy pro tip for you. Tartar sauce can be used in place of mayo on just about everything, and it's delicious. It's National Day of Unplugging. Don't do that. Don't unplug. I stream. I don't need you people unplugging. It's National Employee Appreciation Day. Be sure and remind your boss of that today. National Speech and Debate Education Day. My kid is in his is on his speech team and on his debate team, and he freaking loves it. And I'll tell you, I freaking love it because he's really smart. He's parents brag. Oh, you're gonna brag on your kid? No, my kid really is. He's smart. He gets like really good grades. I like never got really good grades like he gets. He crushes it, and he's really good. Don't brag, and nobody wants to hear you brag on your kid. Anyway, I'm happy that he's involved in speech and debate because he's smart and I want him to be able to articulate his brilliance. National Grammar Day. Oh boy, that's going to be a tough one for me. My grammar is garbage. It's National Marching Music Day. No, thank you. It's National Pound Cake Day. Pound cake is like the most tap out cake that there is. It's like, yeah, I guess we're cake. What are you? Are you bread? Are you like a sweet bread or are you cake? Where's the icing? No, I'm a cake. Call me a cake. Pound cake is. Yeah. It's National Hug a GI Day. So hug a GI if you got one. And it's National Sons Day. So if you have a son, let him get away with murder today because it's National Sons Day. All right, that's what today is. But back to pound cake. Somebody says, oh, we've got cake, and you get all excited, and then they go, here, have some pound cake, and you're like, liar! You are a liar. That is not cake. I was expecting something delicious, not something moderately delicious. Pound cake is all right, Pound cake. All right, let's get through all the things that happened on this day in history. This was a nice day. Yeah. Pound cake, it's like I just always want to add, look at John. John tricking up his sandwiches. He puts cocktail sauce on sandwiches. Aren't you an aficionado? I thought I was breaking barriers just adding tartar sauce to a ham and cheese sandwich, but boy, look at you. Excuse me. Born on this day in 1917, Jeanette Rankin. It's Ladies' Day. It is. It's Political Ladies' Day. On this day in 1917, Jeanette Rankin of Montana becomes the first female member of the United States House of Representatives. Probably because there was only like 5 people in Montana in 1917, and Jeanette was the only one who wanted to run. So she won. On this day in 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt becomes the 32nd president of the United States. He was the last president to be inaugurated on March the 4th. Yeah, that seems like, why did they wait so long? We inaugurate people on January 20th now. This is a full almost month and a half later. On this day in 1933, Frances Perkins becomes the United States Secretary of Labor. She's the first female member of the United States Cabinet. You go, Franny Perkins. On this day in 1966, in an interview with the London Evening Standard, John Lennon of the Beatles declared that the band is more popular than Jesus. I never meant to say we were more popular than Jesus. It's just something I said, and then all this. That's his famous quote. That I never meant to say we were more popular than Jesus. It's just something I said, and then all this. So we like to pretend that it was just recently that we started canceling people willy-nilly. Or as I've pointed out, I believe ground zero for cancel culture were the Everly Brothers in the song Wake Up Little Susie, which almost derailed their entire career because people couldn't imagine the nice boys with nice haircuts would sing a song about falling asleep in a movie theater and everybody thinking you were out having sex, because that's what that song was about. And Wake Up Little Susie, wake up little Susie, wake up. That song was banned on radio. Cancel culture. But then also another good example of early cancel culture was burn them Beatle records. I think he's more popular than Jesus. Well, you know what? The Beatles were pretty damn popular. And, they were probably popular in a lot of countries where there weren't a lot of Christians. And they're probably popular in Muslim countries and Buddhist countries. I don't know. The Beatles were popular. And besides, it's just something you say. He didn't mean it. He was being glib. I never meant to say we were more popular than Jesus. It's just something I said, and now all this. Oh, that was an attempt to cancel the Beatles. Good luck with that one, people. How'd that work out? Let's see here. What else do we have on this day? On this day in 2018, former MI6 spy Sergey Skripal and his daughter were poisoned with a Novichok nerve agent in Salisbury, England, causing a diplomatic uproar that results in mass expulsions of diplomats from all countries involved. This was one of Putin's things. So this guy, I don't know if you remember this story, but Sergey Skripal, he was a Russian military intelligence officer. He was a big time. He was high ranking in the Kremlin during this time, and he started working for the Brits. He became like a double agent, where he was a high-ranking military intelligence officer who then decided, I don't want to live in Russia. I'd like to retire and live in a nice house in London. So he made a deal with the Brits, and he became a double agent spy. And he got in trouble for it. He got caught. They caught him. They caught him like in 2003. He went to prison for like 10 years. And then he got out of prison in Russia in 2013, not because they have like early release or anything, but because there was some big prisoner exchange thing that was done between the Brits and the Russians in 2013. And the Brits said, all right, give us Sergey Skripal. Give us the Skripal. Let's have him. Let him out of prison. So he came back to London in 2013 after being in prison. And then Putin, for like the next 5 years, Putin made it his goal in life to kill this guy. And there were like a whole bunch of attempts. Like they monkeyed with his car, and there were all these like near misses, and he survived for 5 whole years. And then finally they poisoned him. They poisoned him with this. It was the first of the big, hey, Putin's poisoning people. It was the first of those big stories, and that happened on this day in 2018. He survived. He and his daughter survived, but they were jacked up. They were. What else happened? So that was in 2018. Okay. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the things that happened on this day. How about some birthdays? Let's celebrate some birthdays. We're going to go deep on this one. Born on this day in 1888. Personal hero of mine. Knute Rockne. That's right. Knute Rockne, American football player and coach. Notre Dame. And I pronounce it Knute. It's Knute. It's Knute. Don't call him Knute Rockne. Don't call him Knute Rockne, you dumb Americans. His name is Knute. It was never in the day pronounced Newt. We just make the K silent because, I don't know, we assume it must be because Knute sounds like a stupid name. But his name is Knute. Knute Rockne. He was named after Knute the Great, who was king of the North Sea Empire. I don't want to get into a whole history thing with you, but Knute the Great was a pretty powerful dude back in the Middle Ages. And that's who Knute Rockne is named after. Born on this day in 1948, local boy. Well, not a local boy. I don't know. Was he born here? I don't know. Maybe not. He lived here. He's lived here for a long time. Happy birthday, Tom Grieve, voice of your Texas Rangers. Oh, Tom and CJ, they're a couple of the best baseball play-by-play guys out there. I love Tom Grieve. Texas Ranger Hall of Famer, don't you know? Yep. He's been he was a former pitcher. He bummed around the league. He played with a bunch of teams. He played with the Rangers. And now he's celebrating a birthday. I met him a couple times around Tom. He's a good guy. He was, well, I don't know him, but I've been, hey, Pugs, Tom, Pugs. Hey, Tom, how are you? Nice to meet you. Hey, baby. Like that. So happy birthday, Tom Grieve. American baseball player, manager, and sportscaster. Born on this day in 1948, also alongside Tom, we've got Chris Squire. Chris Squire is dead, and he died in 2015 of leukemia. And I mentioned Chris Squire because the other day I was talking about my buddy Gary, who was the record producer. He owned the recording studio. And for those of you who remember a short-lived podcast that I used to do, Gary used to be on the podcast with me. Somebody pointed that out. They're like, when you talk about Gary, you should mention that he was on the podcast with you. I'm like, yeah, he was. I forgot about that. It was me, Gary, and Andy. The reason I mentioned Chris Squire, even though he's dead, is because my friend Gary was like really good friends with Chris Squire. They were like buddies. Whenever Chris Squire or his band or whatever formulation of Yes he was touring with would come through Chicago, he would always go by Gary's studio and record some stuff with Gary. Just, I got no idea. I never met him or anything like that, but there were all kinds of pictures of like Gary hanging out with Chris Squire. And when he died, that was sad. I remember that. That one hit Gary hard. He was like, "You used my most famous friend." I'm like, well, you got a whole bunch of young hip hop guys in your stables. Maybe one of them will record a hit for you. Yes is one of those bands that I never fully appreciated until I got older and like started listening. And I'm like, okay, they were pretty cool. Yes was pretty cool, man. Of course, Owner of a Lonely Heart. I mean, that was like probably their big hit for Gen X. But before that, they had a whole bunch. They had the Roundabout, boom, 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 in and around the lake. Well, I see all good people do the Yes was great. Chris Squire. Happy birthday, Chris Squire, even though you're dead. Happy birthday goes out to the 47th governor of the great state of Texas. It's Rick Perry, proud proprietor of the N-Head Ranch. That's right. Remember that? Remember when we all found out that Rick Perry owned a ranch that was called the N-Word Head Ranch? The N-Word Head Ranch? And Rick Perry was like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Okay, we'll change it. It's a traditional Texas name. Yeah, okay. That's the problem, that it is a traditional Texas name. Rick Perry, 50 years old. He was energy secretary. Is that what he was as well? Governor and energy secretary. Born on this day in 1950. Rick Perry. I always thought he was just a haircut. I remember when he was governor and he got pulled over by state troopers for doing like 120 in his Corvette while he was governor. He got pulled over and he's like, but I'm the governor. It's like, okay, you still can't go 120, dude. Born on this day in 1954. Let's take a break and let's truly celebrate the birth, work, and life of a North American treasure. Yeah, she is a North American treasure because she's Canadian by birth. She is absolutely a North American treasure. Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara was born on this day in 1954. And it's so awesome that the world has finally caught up with Catherine O'Hara. They finally got hipped to her brilliance. Her late in life success with Schitt's Creek, that show, as the mom, just made her what she always should have been. She's probably, for my dime, easily top 3. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to like figure this out, but I'm going to go ahead and put her as number 1, the best comedic actress of my lifetime. Catherine O'Hara has so much range in her comedy. She could probably do drama too. She could probably, what is she most famous for? Kevin's mom in the Home Alone movies. Yeah. But that was like not a big role for her. It was a big role for Kevin, but it wasn't really a big role for her. She was just a mom. But then Schitt's Creek, oh my God, SCTV, oh God, she was so great. Love Catherine O'Hara. Also born on this day, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, born on this day in 1961, American boxer. He killed Dooku Kim in the ring back in the 80s. Killed him dead. Raymond Boom Boom Mancini killed him. Didn't mean to kill him, but Dooku Kim died of the pounding that he took from Boom Boom Mancini. And Boom Boom never really came back from that. Kind of speaks to the soul of the man. He was never really the same. He couldn't really get over the fact that had happened. He didn't want to kill anybody. He didn't want to kill anybody in a boxing match, but yeah. Happy birthday, Raymond Boom Boom Mancini, born on this day in 1961. Born on this day in 1967, Evan Dando of the Lemonheads. They were, if you're in Gen X, you knew who the Lemonheads were. They didn't really do a whole lot. It's a shame about Ray. They had a cool Mrs. Robinson cover. Cuckoo-ca-choo, Mrs. Robinson. But they never really did, whatever. Happy birthday, Evan Dando, born on this day in 1967. Here's a sad one. This is a tragic figure, huh? Born on this day in 1993, died in 2015. Bobby Christina Brown. That's right, the daughter of Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. She died shortly after her mom did. I mean, her dad was... We now have the luxury of perspective. We knew her dad was a train wreck, but now we also kind of know that her mom, Whitney, was a bit of a train wreck too. Oh, the poor kid. She had all kinds of trouble. She had a drug addict and, all these things. She died very, very sadly, very tragically. Bobby Christina Brown, born on this day in 1993. How about some deaths? Let's get into some deaths. Let's memorialize some people who are no longer with us. On this day in 1990, Hank Gathers dropped dead on a basketball court. Hank Gathers. Yeah. People often confuse Hank Gathers with Len Bias. Len Bias was the basketball player who got picked like number 1 overall by the Boston Celtics, and he went out to celebrate being the number 1 pick by the Celtics. And he OD'd on cocaine, and he died. Drafted. Oh my God, could you imagine that? I mean, first of all, let's not even dwell on the family and what a horrendous tragedy that is. But let's just be a little bit more ridiculous. Imagine you're a Boston Celtics fan, and you're like your number 1 draft pick. It's like, what? Last night we had the number 1 pick. What? What a tragedy Len Bias was. But Hank Gathers was different. Hank Gathers played for Loyola Marymount, I believe. Not sure. I think it was Loyola Marymount. And he died on the court. He just suffered a massive heart attack and dropped right there on the court. There's video of it. It's just happened on TV. Ugh, what a tragedy. He had a heart condition that was undiagnosed. Also a heart condition. Died on this day, and he's also trending, so we may spend a little bit of time later talking about him. No, you know what? We'll do it now. We'll do it now. Died on this day in 1994. John Candy. One of the big ones in my life. One of the big. I mean, we were just talking. How crazy is that too? John Candy and Catherine O'Hara, who got their start together as the ensemble on SCTV. 2 of the greats on SCTV, which is just one of the great comedy shows ever made. John Candy dies on Catherine O'Hara's birthday. That had to have been the worst birthday of Catherine O'Hara's life. John Candy is just a. I feel like towards the end of his life, he was starting to do that thing that great comedians often do, and they blow us away. Mr. Popular. That's spam. That came right up as spam. I don't need that. I'm talking about the great John Candy. John Candy was doing that thing where once you establish yourself as one of the iconic comedy stars of an era, you start to get a little bored and you start to stop wanting to be just pigeonholed as in John Candy's case, he said in an interview, he wanted to stop being Fatty Fall Down. And that was the exact same quote that Chris Farley used. So we don't know if Chris Farley would have used that. But that's John Candy felt that his entire worth as a performer was based on him being a fat guy who could do, he's agile and he could do stuff. So he did that thing. He tried to do drama. He did drama. John Candy was terrific. John Candy was his last movie JFK, where he took a dramatic turn in JFK as like a real serious actor. I would have loved to have seen John Candy as a serious actor because he's such a talented guy. He's so talented. I mean, just in a cast of SCTV where everybody was. I put the original cast of SCTV pound for pound up against anybody in the original cast of Saturday Night Live, and with the exception of maybe Belushi and Radner. Everybody else on SCTV was as good or better than the people on Saturday Night Live, and John Candy was the star. He was the breakout on SCTV. Such a star. He died on this day. Let's figure out his death. I remember he died, but Candy died on March 4th, 1994. A spokeswoman said that his cause of death was a heart attack. 43 years old. When he died, he seemed so old to me. He didn't seem so old, like he wasn't an old man. But now that I'm long past 43, I'm like, God, that's young. In addition to his obesity, he tended to binge eat in response to professional struggles and weighed in excess of 300 pounds at some points in his life. Candy had a number of risk factors for the heart attack, including a strong family history. His father had died prematurely of a heart attack, although his children say he was unaware of his genetic risk. Smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, heavy alcohol use, and occasional cocaine. Candy was concerned about his weight. He once lost 100 pounds over a summer while preparing for a new film role with Martin Short. He frequently dieted and exercised with trainers because of his family history. He was also under a significant degree of stress throughout the making of Wagons East. Do we do a John Candy draft? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do a John Candy draft. Absolutely, we do. All right, let me quickly. Here's one that pops up. Probably won't make the draft, but Blues Brothers as the Illinois State Police captain who orders the Poos Cafes, right? Isn't that him? Poos Cafe, Poos Cafe, Poos Cafe. Let's see here. National Lampoon's Vacation also won't make the list because it was such a small role, but he played at the very end of Vacation when they got to Wally World. He was a security guard. All right, let's do this. All right, in the first round of the draft, I know what I'm taking in the first round of the draft. In the first round of the John Candy movie draft, I will go with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Let's see here. Oh boy, do I? I don't know. It's like I almost want to. With the second pick in the John Candy movie draft, I'm going with Spaceballs. Spaceballs. He played Barf. He played Barf, the Wookiee-like character. With the third pick in the John Candy draft, I'm going with Summer Rental. Summer Rental, a very underrated film. Fourth pick in the John Candy draft, I'm going with... Oh, that's so underrated. That's so underrated. That's such an underrated movie. I know I didn't take Uncle Buck yet, right? All right, Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck. Adam Reyna says that Spaceballs doesn't really hold up now, and he says that's his only problem with it. I disagree. I watched it with a little boy who likes Star Wars. You might have a different perspective on it because my son, we watch Uncle Buck we watch Spaceballs once a year. My kid who's 12 loves it. So I know from that perspective, I would have to disagree with you there. With the fifth, see, this is a tough one with the fifth pick. And I'll tell you, I am torn between one of his movies that I thought was really good that didn't really get a whole bunch of love. It was kind of a flop, but I really liked it. And I thought it was a really interesting transit. Now, when you look at his career perspective, it was an interesting transitional film into what he was kind of wanting to do. But because of what I said, the fifth pick in the John Candy draft, an ensemble role to be sure, but he was so good in JFK as Dean Andrews Jr., the shady lawyer, chain smoking over lunch. He was great. The one that doesn't hold up, the one that not that it doesn't hold up, the one that I think doesn't make the list, but is such a good movie. And if you really want to see John Candy showing a little bit of range, a little bit more than John Candy being, fatty fall down, as he described it. A movie called Only the Lonely, which was a rom-com. It was a rom-com, basically, starring John Candy. And he was funny in it, but he played a more sensitive, more like he wasn't, slapstick John Candy. He wasn't over the top crazy John Candy. He was the romantic lead in it. And he was funny because he's John Candy and he can't help but be funny. But that would be the one that I would like to make the list. Kevin says Armed and Dangerous. That was funny. Stripes, man. Stripes definitely would also make the list. Didn't I say Stripes? Did I not say Stripes? Ox played Ox in Stripes. It's sort of a smaller role though. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, Leslie, Only the Lonely, the movie with Maureen O'Hare. That's Only the Lonely. That's a really who else was in that? Only the Lonely. Let's see here. That's one of those movies like if you really want to appreciate John Candy, and it didn't do well because people didn't really want John Candy in that kind of a role. Only the Lonely is a 1991 American romantic comedy drama film written and directed by Chris Columbus, produced by John Hughes, and stars John Candy, Maureen O'Hara in her final film role, Ali Sheedy, and Anthony Quinn. The film is a comedic take on the premise established in the 1953 television play Marty and the 1955 film Marty. While the title comes from the song Only the Lonely by Roy Orbison, the story follows a bachelor who is looking to settle down and start a family with a mortuary beautician while coping with his overbearing mother who does not approve of her. It's a good movie. It's a really good Lord, I might watch Only the Lonely tonight, just in remembrance. That's a movie that people really need to rediscover because it's a terrific film, and John Candy is terrific in it. You know, speaking of that, let's see what the reception is. Oh, Rotten Tomatoes gives it 64%. Entertainment Weekly at the time gave it a C. That's too bad. I don't care. John Candy, draft, ladies and gentlemen, an icon. Love that guy. Johnny LaRue. Hey, I'm Harry, the guy with the snake on my face. Look, he had all of these great characters on SCTV. All right, so John Candy passed away today. Now, this one is also interesting that he passed away on the same day as John Candy, different year, but the same day. Del Close died on this day in 1999. Who's Del Close? I don't know who Del Close is. No, you don't know who Del Close is, but you know his work and you know his people. There is a tremendous documentary. What is the Del Close documentary called? Let me pull that up for you. I think it's on Prime, maybe. I'll tell you the name of it. I'm going to teach you a little bit about Del Close if you don't know who he is. Okay, the documentary is called For Madmen Only. And it's on Hulu. It's a Del Close documentary, the story of the life of Del Close. Del Close is considered to be the father of improv comedy, which, oh God, improv. Well, yeah, but some people did it right, and some people taught people who had talent how to channel that talent into being funny in the moment and being able to create humor out of virtually any situation. And that's who Del Close was. Del Close was an American actor, writer, and teacher who coached many of the best-known comedians and comic actors of the late 20th century. In addition to acting in television and film, he was one of the influences on modern improvisational theater. Close is a co-founder of the I.O., or Improv Olympic in Chicago, and also longtime director and spiritual head of the Chicago iconic theater, the Second City. So here's some of his notable students. Here are some of the people who became fun. Are you ready? Here are some of the people that Del Close molded and taught to be funny. Dan Aykroyd, Ike Barinholtz, James Belushi, John Belushi, John Candy, Jay Chandrasekhar, the guy from what is that called? Slam and Salmon, and I forgot what they are. They're funny though. Stephen Colbert, Andy Dick, Brian Doyle Murray, Rachel Dratch, Chris Farley, John Favreau, Tina Fey, T.J. Jagodowski, Tim Kazurinsky, David Koechner, Shelley Long, Adam McKay, Tim Meadows, Jerry Minor, Bill Murray, Joel Murray, Mike Myers, Bob Odenkirk, Tim O'Malley, Amy Poehler, Gilda Radner, Harold Ramis, Andy Richter, Horatio Sands, Amy Sedaris, Dave Thomas, Vince Vaughn, and George Wendt. Just a few. These are just a few of the people who were his students, who he coached, and who he taught how to become comedic actors. The guy was amazing. Famously, when he died, Bill Murray received his skull, which was a big weird comedy where it turned out not to be his skull. It was like Bill Murray's last joke. Close died of emphysema on March 4th, 1999 at the Illinois Masonic Hospital, now Chicago Masonic Medical Center, 5 days before his 65th birthday. He bequeathed his skull to Chicago's Goodman Theater to be used in its productions of Hamlet, and specified that he be duly credited in the programs as portraying Yorick. Sharna Halpern, Close's longtime professional partner and the executor of his will, donated a skull, purportedly Close's, to the Goodman Theater in a high-profile televised ceremony on July 1st, 1999. A front-page article in the Chicago Tribune in 2006 questioned the authenticity of the skull, citing the presence of dentations. Close was, I don't know what that means, and autopsy marks. Close was not autopsied. Among other problems, Halpern stood by her story at the time, but admitted in a New Yorker interview 3 months later that she had purchased the skull from a local medical supply company. Bill Murray organized an early 65th birthday party and wake shortly before Dell's anticipated death, as he lay in his deathbed in a Chicago hospital, memorialized in a 2-part video produced by Bill Murray. After Close's death, his former students in the Upright Citizens Brigade founded the annual Dell Close Marathon, 3 days of continuous improvisation by hundreds of performers at various venues around New York City. All right, so that's interesting, isn't it? It's Catherine O'Hara's birthday. John Candy and Catherine O'Hara worked together. John Candy died on Catherine O'Hara's birthday. And then 5 years after John Candy died, his teacher, Del Close, died. Boom, boom, boom. Symmetry. The world is a weird place. All right, let's continue on. Also died on this day. This was a real shocker. This was a real shocker to all of us. Another Gen X icon, to be sure. Luke Perry died on this day. How did Luke Perry die? You know, Dylan from 90210, Luke Perry. He was cool. You either if you were a young man during that time, you either wanted to identify with Jason Priestley, Brandon, or you wanted to identify with Luke Perry. Yeah. I wanted to be Luke Perry, but unfortunately, I was neither. It was a stretch to imagine me being able to pull off either. Sideburns, though, had sideburns. They brought the sideburns back. Remember that? For like a couple of years in the 90s when all us guys had sideburns? That was fantastic. Luke Perry, illness and death. Perry suffered a massive ischemic stroke at his home in Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles on February the 27th, 2019. After a second stroke, his family decided to remove him from life support. He died on March 4th at the age of 52. He was buried at the Perry family farm in Van Leer, Tennessee, where he owned a home since 1995. Perry was buried in an eco-friendly mushroom burial suite, which the manufacturer claims is able to remove polluting toxins from the body while naturally breaking it down. In the aftermath of Perry's death, the Reels channel announced a documentary titled Luke Perry in His Own Words. As a result of his death, his Riverdale character, Fred Andrews, also died, and the 4th season premiere was a tribute dedicated to him and his character, featuring his Beverly Hills 90210 co-star Shannon Doherty. That's sad. I like Luke Perry. Luke Perry seemed like a cool guy. He seemed like a good guy. All right, so there you have it. That's John Candy, Del Close, and Luke Perry. And those are three people that I actually, I had feeling for. Like those are 3 people that when they died, I actually felt bad about. Like, oh no, that's sad. Okay, let's see here. Give me a second. Let me check back in on the school shooting that we reported about earlier today. Let's see if there's anything new, any new information on that. There was a school shooting in Olathe East High School in Olathe. To be honest, Leslie, who has the proper pronunciation, has me all screwed up on this. Let's see here. Johnson County. I don't know what that's about. All right. It doesn't seem to be any new real details concerning the shooting. Apparently, all the kids are fine. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that there are no injuries to students. Still not seeing anything. I heard news reports are saying that it's 2, but the police scanner suggested that there were more, like at least 3. So I don't know. That they said the police scanner said 2 stable, 1 critical. That's exactly what they said. That's 3. That's 3 people. If 2 victims are stable and 1 is critical. So I don't know. So we'll see. We'll have to. Maybe there were only 2 shooting victims and somebody else was injured in some other way, and that accounts for one of the stable, and then the critical. The critical, I believe, was the school principal. All right. Let's get into the topics for today, because that's Adam says there's a good Vice documentary series called The Dark Side of the 90s, and they focused on Fox teen shows in an episode. I completely forgot he had died until that show. That was sad. Loved him. Yeah, he seemed like a good guy. Like break away from the character of Dylan that he played in like interviews and stuff. You'd see him and promoting other things. He seemed like a good guy. He seemed like a funny guy. He seemed like a really nice person. A good Southern boy is, I guess, how you would describe Luke Perry. Luke Perry died on this day in 2019. All right, let's see here. Let's get into some of the big stories that are trending today. Nuke plant is trending. That's coming out of the Ukraine war that we have here. Let's see here. What are the latest? 6 reactors at the nuclear plant in the Ukraine. It is the largest nuclear power facility in all of Europe. It came under attack from Russian invaders yesterday. It was defended by Ukrainian forces, but the Russian invaders took control of the nuclear plant. There were fires burning throughout the night. The fires, we now know, were to administrative buildings and training center buildings. The reactors received absolutely no damage, which is incredibly good, because a leak at a place like that would have been 10 times worse than Chernobyl. Okay, well, you say that now because what? You're trying to grab headlines. Luckily, whatever that situation could have been seems to have been averted. 6 reactors have been unaffected. Ukrainian managers of the power plant are currently working at gunpoint. It's controlled by the Russians. The Ukrainian citizens who work at the power plant, the managers, are running the plant business as usual, but they're operating under, the threat of harm. There's Russian army there pointing guns at them. Employees showed up to work today at the plant. I'll tell you. I don't know if I'd go into work. Oh, hey, the place you work at, yeah, it's the power plant. Yeah, the real scary place. It's a scary place to go anyway because it's a power plant. It's on fire. It was being bombed, and it's under control of the Russians. Are you going into work today? It seems like you could call in sick. Hell, it seems like you could just not show up. But it looks a number of employees actually showed up for work today. They are all doing their jobs. Russians do control the plant. The plant was a military objective of Putin's. He wanted to take control of all of the power, the nuclear plants there. He took Chernobyl on day 1. He has failed at. He thought he was going to be able to take the cities that had the power plants quicker than he has, and that just hasn't worked out for him. So here we are a week later, and he's got control of one power plant. Now people are worried. They're like, well, he's going after the other ones, right? I mean, he's going to try and control them all. So we may not be out of the woods here. There may be other attacks or attempts to siege Ukrainian nuclear power plants. This particular plant, however, provides 25% of all the power to the Ukraine. So this is a big one. The UN is trending today. The UN Security Council was meeting earlier today on the subject of the nuclear power plant in the Ukraine that was attacked by the Russians. And the U.S. ambassador had something real important to say. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations said, Putin needs to stop now. Thank you. Thank you, U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Thanks. Really? Hey, U.S. ambassador to the UN. Did he hear? What did he do? Oh, he didn't stop. So you're just a feckless, do-nothing organization that all you do is clutch your pearls these days and have really no power or influence over sovereign governments. Okay. All right. Thank you, UN. Very good. Putin, stop now. Putin, stop. Come on. Enough is enough. I'm becoming less and less a fan of the UN. They don't have any power. They don't do anything. Here's what you guys should do. Yet. What? You're not going to do it? Yet. Do it. They don't do it. There's nothing. There is no recourse for the UN. NATO is trending. NATO has officially turned down the Ukraine's request to declare a no-fly zone over the Ukraine. NATO's like, we're not going to put our jets up there. That's no. But they almost bombed the hell out of a nuclear power plant. Yeah, but they didn't, so we dodged that one. Ukraine wants the United Nations to fly security missions over the airspace. And the UN's like, so you're asking us to engage Russian military planes. What are we supposed to do when they fire on us? And what are we supposed to do when we say, hey, you need to land, this is a no-fly zone, and they don't? I mean, that's how we get dragged into it. Now, you may think we need to be dragged into it. You may think we don't need to be dragged into it. But whatever. NATO said, nope, we ain't. Sorry, Zelensky. We know you're a global hero, and we know that the whole world seems to be on your side. But we don't want none of that smoke. Nope. Gas prices are trending here in the United States. Gas prices, this is such bull crap. Gas prices have shot up 11 cents overnight. Overnight. I almost got gas yesterday. I was like, I almost got gas yesterday. I didn't. Now it's going to be 11 cents more a gallon. Gas prices went up 11 cents more overnight. Why, do you ask? Well, obviously, because the Russian oil is being turned away from ports. But here's the thing, folks. We don't use Russian oil in this country. The United States of America uses less than 1% of imported Russian oil. This is another situation where you have these money-grubbing trillion-dollar corporations who are seizing an opportunity to just squeeze a little bit more money out of us because they know that most of us will go around and go, well, this must be because of the whole Russian thing and the oils. We don't use Russian oil in this country. Less than 1%. It's ridiculous. California shot up over $5 a gallon. New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Florida, they're all up over $4 a gallon. I don't know what we are here. I don't know. Let me see what we are here in North Texas real quick. Let me pull up my handy dandy gas buddy. They are jacking the prices up because they can. That's why, not because there's been any major interruption in the flow of gas to gas pumps. All right, let's look at gas pump. Gas Buddy, Dallas County. Let's see what the average price here is. Okay, this is the lowest. $3.01 at Circle K in Grand Prairie. That seems to be the lowest. The Valero is 304, 311. What's the average here? 319, 320. Oh, we're going up. Oh, geez, we're going up. Mesquite, Kroger, 325. Quick Trip in Dallas on RL Thornton Freeway, 329. We're getting up into the 330s. All right. So that's where we are. So we're not close to 4. And we're certainly not close to California 5, but we don't use Russian oil. This is not affecting the gas in our gas pumps. Michael says he just filled up in Watauga and it was $3.59. That's a lot. That's a lot for. Hey, I think we've got an opportunity to really squeeze people at the pump. Well, why? It's not costing us anymore. Yeah, but they're stupid and they think it will. And besides, everybody watches Fox News and they'll just blame it on Biden anyway. So we can get the money. Let's just raise the prices. Is that ethical? No, it's not ethical. We're an oil company. We're not ethical. We got to make our money where we can. Electric vehicles are coming. We're all going to be out of business in 10 years anyway. Adam paid $3.59 in Denton. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's see what else. Gas prices up 11 cents nationwide. This is crazy. I mentioned this guy's name last night for the first time on the Pugs and Parker, yeah, why not? Pugs and Parker Pillow Talk show. We were talking about Chechnya, and I said the reason that the West didn't really care when Russia steamrolled over the Chechen people is because really the only Chechen we know in this country is Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the Boston Marathon bomber. We don't have any real sympathy for him. So it's not like we care about the Chechen people. And also Chechnya isn't bumpered up against Western Europe the way Ukraine is. But, you got my point. But I mentioned Dzhokhar Tsarnaev last night. Probably the first time that name has come out of my mouth since the Boston Marathon bombing or the days that shortly followed it. And he's in the news today. He's trending very high today. Why? Because the Supreme Court of the United States has reinstated the death penalty. He was given a death sentence for the Boston Marathon bombing. And there was last summer, a federal court commuted it from the death penalty. They said, yeah, no, he doesn't need the death penalty. There were some hijinks. And besides, we don't think that he was as involved in all of this as his brother Tamerlan was. Tamerlan Tsarnaev was the main guy, and he died in a shootout with police in Watertown, Massachusetts. So he's gone. So Dzhokhar is the one that's in prison, and he was given the death sentence, and a federal court said, yeah, no, just life in prison for this guy. Well, today the Supreme Court reinstated it, voting 6-3 to reinstate the death penalty on Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. So my thoughts on the death penalty, I've said it a lot. I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't believe that ape kill ape. Planet of the Apes taught us that ape no kill ape, and I think that humans could probably take a note from that. I just don't think it's morally good practice for us to be into killing people. But what, we're supposed to put them in prison for the rest of their lives? What's that going to cost the taxpayer? You don't even feel it. Stop it with what's that going to cost the taxpayer. The oil companies are jacking up prices by 11 cents for no good reason, and you're going to complain about this? I mean, the moral ambiguity. Where does ambiguity? I just don't think we should be killing people. And besides, I think it's worse to just make them human veal for the rest of their life. Just put them in a box. Close the cell, let them out in the yard for 1 hour a day, and that's it. And I don't even know why we're letting them out in the yard, but let them out in the yard. Make them pee in a coffee can, whatever it is, for the rest of their life. Their life is over. We live in a civilized, theoretically, morally anchored society, and I just don't think we ought to kill people. And I think it's letting people off easy. I think it's this kid's, he was like 19 when this happened. He's in his early 20s now, mid 20s now. Dude could live to be 80. And it's going to be like the next 60 years of his life of just absolute suckus. It's going to be terrible for him. He's going to be reminded every single day of what he did. And, you can mess with him in prison. Oh, but that's cruel and unusual. You can get around that. You can make his life hell. You can make we live in a civilized society. We shouldn't be killing each other. I'm not even Christian. I'm seeking, but I don't understand how we have the right to judge life. I just don't get it. I just don't get how we have the right to kill somebody, to decide that based on our laws here, we are going to end the existence of one of God's creatures. I feel very conflicted over that idea. And I also think that it's way worse for him to just make him stay in a box. Get in a box. Get back in your hole for the rest of your life, young man. He's getting out easy. They're gonna end his pain. They're gonna send him off to wherever the hell he goes. But the Supreme Court reinstated the death penalty. So, I mean, the whole civilized society thing, that comes with a cost. Do we want to live in a civilized society? If we decide that it's better to live the way we sort of live now, under the guise of civilization, and not go back to the Middle Ages where we're just burning villages and raping women and stealing whatever we want. If we want to live in the civilized society, then there is a cost. There is a cost to that. And that cost is when you violate the rules of our civilized society, you are removed permanently from said society. You have given up your membership card in this society. You cannot be here anymore. Get in your damn box. Pee in your little coffee can or whatever the hell it is we give you. You are no longer here. And, sure, now you gotta house them forever. Yeah, that's the price of a civilized society. Everything isn't easy. And again, you complain about the most ridiculous things. You have no idea. You're not feeling that. You're complaining about that, but you don't complain about $10,000 hammers that, the Department of Justice pays for. There's so much waste of our tax dollars. Stop being selective in your outrage with where our tax dollars go. Stop it, especially when it falls into a moral area like killing another human being. Well, I said, don't vote for me for governor, because I will stay the execution of absolutely everybody that's on death row. I will put them in a box and I will make them pee in a coffee can for the rest of their lives. And I will allow the family members to come by and look at them like they're animals in the zoo. They can even throw peanuts at them if they want, just like a zoo animal. But don't relieve them of their burden. Don't kill them and end their life. I mean, I guess that is the sort of, we're done with them. I don't know. I just don't want to kill anybody. I just don't want to kill anybody. Sorry. Again, I'm a seeker. This whole thing about God, still figuring that out. Still going through my life, trying to figure it out. Kind of leaning that way. Kind of leaning that there's something. Kind of thinking that maybe what it is that I believe is just, I just have a different word for it, but it's probably the same thing. And I don't know. I just don't feel like that's all right. If there is something behind creation and there is something behind us as people, I don't know, we should be killing each other. I just don't know. That's me. Oh, yeah, pussy liberal. I'm not really that liberal. I'm really not. If you hung out with me, you would see. But, on issues of morality and stuff, I think my mom did a pretty good job. She made me a pretty decent person when push comes to shove. I mean, I'm vain. I'm a narcissist. I'm selfish. I'm all of those things. But in the big issues, I'm pretty okay. So that's why Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is trending. Crazy. A guy named Dzhokhar is trending on a day that the Batman movie is also trending. And we'll get to that in a minute. This is something I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show this to you. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Trending today on all platforms. Shane Warne. Warne, W-A-R-N-E. Shane Warne is apparently an international superstar. And I have never heard of Shane Warne. I do not know I didn't. When I woke up this morning, I had no idea who Shane Warne was. Apparently, he is the Michael Jordan of cricket, the sport of cricket. Shane Warne, Australian cricket great, dies of suspected heart attack at age 52. Seriously, he's trending everywhere. Australian cricketer Shane Warne, considered one of the greatest players in the history of the sport, has died at the age of 52. It is with great sadness we advise that Shane Keith Warne passed away of a suspected heart attack in Koh Samui, Thailand today. said a statement from MPC Entertainment, his management group. Shane was found unresponsive in his villa, and despite the best efforts of medical staff, he could not be revived. The family requests privacy, as they always do. Warren was one of cricket's most lethal bowlers. Bowling? I learned this. I did a little research into Shane Warren. Bowling is pitching. He was a pitcher. He was basically in the cricket version of pitching. They call it bowling. Warren was one of cricket's most lethal bowlers with 7. Get ready for these words. It's like we're aliens listening to someone tell us about football for the first time. Warren was one of cricket's most lethal bowlers with 708 test wickets to his name. Oh, that's good. I have no idea. Is that good? Is that like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that like 10,000 strikeouts? I have no idea. The most ever test wickets for an Australian, and the second most of all time in the sport, only behind, of course, the great Mutitata Mullaharatharyan of Sri Lanka. Of course, we all had posters in our room growing up of Mutitata Murathalarian. I know I had that poster right next to my Michael Jordan and Walter Payton. Walter Payton, Michael Jordan, right in the middle there. Mutatata Murathalarian of Sri Lanka. He was named the Wisden leading cricketer in the world on 3 separate occasions. And one of Wisden, here, I want to show you this. I had to do this. I had to see, what's so great about this guy? What does this guy do that's so cool? So I went to YouTube and I actually pulled up, every athlete in the world has a highlight reel. So let's watch this guy's highlight reel for a couple of seconds here. Hold on, let me pull this up. That's a little loud. It's a little loud too. Here, let's all pretend like we're aliens from another planet watching baseball. Because that's what it's got to be about. It's got to be like that. All right, here we go. Let's check. We'll jump in here. Let's see here. All right, so here are the 5 magical wickets of Shane Warren.
It's turned a long way. How easier now for Sarwan, now that he's got Lara out there.
That looked a bit outside.
The red line shows you where the ball would have gone.
No idea what we're looking at here.
Got him! That's well bowled, Shane Warren. What a wicket that is. He's really teed him up, and he has struck just before lunch. Well, he's played so well, Chanderpaul. He'd be so disappointed.
KFC,
he's
big sponsor of
almost
cricket.
got them to lunch, and then all of a sudden, Warren strikes.
Well, he really
Is KFC a big sponsor of cricket because cricket is really big in India, in that part of the world where they don't eat beef? So I bet they eat a lot of chicken. Think about it. I wouldn't think that there would be KFC. Why would KFC be interested in sponsoring to a large? That's a big sponsorship deal. You get your patch on the uniform. I don't know. That's just what I thought. I thought maybe because people in India who love cricket, they don't eat beef.
really does have a bogey with this Test century. He was playing well enough to get a Test century today. That one spun a long way. You'd have to say that Chanderpaul was a bit sloppy in trying to protect his wicket there. It's pitched in the rough and come back a mile. He'd have been better off playing forward to that one rather than back. Shane Warren has done it once again, coming up to a break. And he's put a big smile on Ian Healy's face as well as his own.
Here it is. Here's the number 1, Shane Warren.
First ball in Test cricket in England for Shane Warren. And he's done it.
What's going on with his face? Is that all the cocaine they do in cricket?
The most beautiful delivery. Gadding has absolutely no idea what has happened to it. He still doesn't know. He asked Kenny Palmer on the way out. Kenny Palmer just gave him
Kenny Power?
eyebrow,
like from Eastbound and Down? Look at this. Let's see what this does. All right. Boop.
Well,
I guess that's
about 2.5 feet.
I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know what any of this is. I don't know what we're looking at. I'm applying baseball knowledge to this.
Well outside leg stump.
So they don't even have to catch it. The catcher doesn't even have to catch it. It can just go spinning off, and it's a dead ball.
Orders changing the
Boop.
field. Look at that ball.
Fuck.
Turn.
All right, here's a bonus one. Boop.
Well, that's an absolute clinker.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that's an absolute clinker. Clinker. That's an absolute clinker. All right, so he's dead. Adam has a friend from Nepal and they love fried chicken. So yeah, that would make sense. They're like, why, we don't see Kentucky Fried. That would make sense why Kentucky Fried Chicken in that part of the world where there's a lot of Hindu people. And I think, Hindus, don't they worship cows? So they can't eat beef or something like that. So it makes sense. Your Kentucky Fried Chicken, you want to expand into that. All right, Shane Warne, dead today. That's very sad. Shane Warne, we hardly knew ye. And that's true. We here on this show, we hardly knew ye. But God bless you, sir. Hey, I don't know what I was just looking at there, but you looked like you were good at it. And everyone's saying that you were one of the best. So God love you. Another sport, another guy in another sport is trending today because there are new details. Kane is trending. Kane Velazquez, he was trending earlier in the week because he got into what was originally described as a road rage incident. Here's how it originally unfolded. He got into a road rage incident and he drew his gun and he shot a bunch of times into somebody else's car, and those people sped off, and then he sped off, and there was a car chase, and cops finally caught Kane, and he was in jail for attempted murder in what was being framed as a road rage incident. He's trending again today because that ain't what happened. That is not what happened. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kane Velazquez is probably one of the best known UFC MMA fighters in the heavyweight division. There was a time when I thought there was nobody that was ever going to beat heavyweight champ Kane Velazquez. He was a scary, talented fighter. Injuries just wreaked havoc on him. He had a bad back situation, multiple surgeries, and it really affected him being this, like, he is a legendary fighter. Like, he's a legendary fighter regardless. Almost like you could someone like a Gale Sayers, whose career was cut ridiculously short, but he had done so much that, it's like, well, he's going in the Hall of Fame anyway, because what he's done in these 5 years, he's already a Hall of Famer. That was kind of like the Kane Velazquez thing. He got his injuries, his back injuries were just so nasty, and they stopped him from being the absolute greatest heavyweight champ of all time. But boy, oh boy, was he there. And Kane seemed like he was a quiet guy. He was the pride of the Mexican-American community. They loved Kane. He was the first UFC Mexican-American champion, and he was a heavyweight, which is because there's a lot of Mexican-American fighters in UFC, but they're all like in the lower weight classes. Kane was a heavyweight. I always liked Kane. I always thought he was a good guy, which is why I was so shocked when I heard that he's just like, what is he, all roiding out now or something? And he went nuts and he got into a road rage incident. No, it's more complicated than that. And I mean, the story I'm about to give you, you're all going to go, oh, okay, I kind of understand what happened there now. He's not just a crazy gun thug out there raging at people on the road because they cut him off, but also really stupid. It's like a really stupid thing that he did, but it's kind of justifiable. Former UFC champion Kane Velazquez has been charged with shooting a molestation suspect. The man Kane Velazquez shot at is accused of molesting a 4-year-old family member of the MMA fighter. So here's the story. I won't read it all to you because I've read a number of different stories on this, and I've read interviews with people who know him. So Kane Velazquez it's being described as his niece. His 4-year-old niece goes to this preschool in California, and she was molested. She was molested by the son of the people who own the preschool. The son is like a dude in his 40s. He's not like a little kid. He's like a grown-ass creeper. So Kane's niece was molested by this guy. And the guy was arrested. The guy was booked into jail. And then a judge let him out without bond. And this happened last Thursday. I think it happened a week ago. Yes, it happened a week ago today where this guy was arrested and he was taken to jail. And then a judge let him out. And over the weekend, the guy who molested Kane's niece was free. He was out walking around, and Kane lost his shit, and he went after him, and he chased him down in his car. And this is why I say it's justifiable. Like, you can instead of me having to figure out in my head, well, Kane Velazquez, he didn't seem like a murderer. Like, why would he just pull out a gun for road rage and kill somebody? That doesn't seem like it's in character for him. But now when you hear that his niece was molested by this guy and a judge let the guy out on without bail, judge let him out, and apparently the whole Velazquez family is just livid about it. And Kane decided that he was going to go and he was going to F this guy up. And the guy was running in his car and Kane was chasing him, and he shot into the vehicle. And I guess Kane, people are saying that honestly, Kane just wanted to beat the shit out of the guy, which is scary. I mean, a word to you molesters out there: if you're going to molest a little kid, and don't, I would just say don't. We could stop there. But if you are molesting, really, you're going to compound the situation if you're molesting the niece of one of the most frightening UFC heavyweight champions in history. Probably not a good. You need to find out. I don't even want to joke about that because it's such a gross thing. San Jose, California. Former two-time UFC heavyweight champion Kane Velazquez was charged Wednesday with attempted murder and multiple gun assault charges after authorities said he fired at a pickup truck carrying a man accused of sexually abusing a 4-year-old family member. That 4-year-old family member is now being described as his niece. Velazquez, who successfully defended his title against Junior Dos Santos in Houston at UFC 166 in 2013, was arrested Monday after he chased a pickup carrying Harry Golarte through the busy streets in 3 Silicon Valley cities, ramming the vehicle with his own pickup truck during an 11-mile high-speed chase, prosecutors said. Velazquez fired a .40 caliber pistol at the vehicle several times, wounding Golarte's stepfather, who was driving, in his arm and torso. Velazquez, 39, appeared in court Wednesday, but his arraignment was postponed until Monday. He is being held without bail, which is ironic, considering the guy that molested his niece was not held on bail. He is being held without bail at Santa Clara County Main Jail. Here's the thing. For you and I, bail in jail, it's not going to be fun. There ain't nobody messing with Kane Velazquez in jail. There's nobody. I don't care who they... Nope. Nobody's gonna... Nope. Unless they're like got a death wish or they truly want to test Kane Velazquez. You know, that could be a problem because there's idiots who think that they can test world-class grapplers, strikers. I mean, he's big. He's big and there ain't nobody... He's fine. He's going to be fine in jail. Celebrity attorney Mark Garagos. This is troubling. We all know Mark Garagos. He's the celebrity attorney. He handles all the celebrities. Is representing Velazquez. It's troubling because Garagos always loses. He always loses. Mark Garagos. Oh, yeah. The guy who never gets the celebrities off, but yet he's still like the famous. I mean, I'm sure he's gotten some off, but it seems like he loses a lot. Garagos did not immediately return a phone message from the Associated Press seeking comment on Wednesday. About 100 people wearing T-shirts that read "Free Kane" showed up at the courthouse to show their support. Last week, deputies were called to a San Marin daycare owned by Golarte's mother regarding allegations of sexual assault involving a child. The Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office said in a statement Wednesday. After interviewing the child and others, investigators determined that a sexual assault had taken place and that Golarte, 43, was arrested soon after. Prosecutors said Velazquez on Monday went to the Golarte family home, where the daycare is located, and followed the truck through Morgan Hill and into San Jose. I can't take that one. Prosecutors said Velazquez on Monday went to the Golarte family home where the daycare is located and followed the truck through Morgan Hill and into San Jose, where he wounded Golarte's stepfather, Golarte's mother was also in the vehicle at the time. Later Monday, Morgan Hill police officers located Velazquez driving his pickup truck in San Jose and arrested him. Santa Clara County District Attorney Jeff Rosen said in a statement, "The sad tragedy is that Mr. Velazquez chose to take the law into his own hands, endangering the public and everyone in the truck. This act of violence also caused more pain and suffering to his own family." The Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office said investigators believe there are other victims from the daycare and are working with potential witnesses and victims. Golarte, 43, this is the kick in the head here. Golarte, the molester, 43, was arraigned on felony molestation charges in Santa Clara County Superior Court on Friday, and a judge released him from custody without bail over the district attorney's objections. Oh, my God. The AP could not immediately determine whether anyone could speak on Golarte's behalf. He was released under the conditions that he stay in home detention, stay 100 yards away from any child under 14, and wear an electronic monitoring bracelet. Golarte was on his way to get the monitor when Velazquez attacked the family. And then it goes on. Velazquez transitioned to pro wrestling after retired from his MMA career in 2019, a former two-time UFC heavyweight champion. He earned title belts in 2010 and 2012. All right. So I feel better about this story because it was bothering me because I liked Kane. I always thought that Kane seemed like a cool guy, like a good guy. I would also say Kane didn't seem like a particularly bright guy. He seemed like a nice guy. So, the whole idea of taking the law into your own hands, especially with a gun, is probably not cool. But, then there's a part that's like, he probably loves his little niece dearly. And I imagine that Kane Velazquez, being, he didn't come from riches, and he's a wealthy man now. He's got he's probably the patriarch of the entire Velazquez family in that area. And they probably look to him to solve problems and all of that stuff. I don't know. I just think it's, I hope he doesn't go to jail. Like, I hope he's not convicted. I hope that I hope they figure something out, because this is not a guy who I think we need to worry about shooting somebody in a liquor store robbery. You know what I mean? I don't think that he is a danger to the community. I think that there are some extenuating circumstances that led to this poor choice for him. I mean, even if he had caught him, though, okay, so let's remove the gun. He catches this guy and he beats the holy snot out of him in a parking lot. He could have killed this guy. So, he could have killed this guy. If he was raging to that degree, it could have been worse. Maybe it could have been worse. I don't know. Adam says, listen to that statement. He caused more harm than he solved. Wait to beat the shit out of him when he's alone, not causing potentially more damage than you think you're solving. I agree with you. I agree with you. I am not excusing Kane Velazquez. What I am saying is, on Monday, when this story first came out, I was really disappointed in him. I was like, oh no, he's just a meathead thug. He never seemed like a thug. He never seemed like a guy that would do something like. And now we have more color to the story. And I can go, yeah, okay. He's not okay. So he's not a thug. He is a meathead. I always thought he was a meathead. And this kind of thing a meathead would do. You touch my niece, I'll kill you, without really thinking it through. And so anyway, so that story is developing. We will find out. In a lot of circles, Kane Velazquez will, be a hero. People will say this, yeah, that's how it needs to go down. Okay, here's something that was trending yesterday, but it's also trending again today because boy, oh boy, is she hot in more ways than one. She is one of the hottest actresses going in Hollywood. Of course, I'm talking about Sydney Sweeney. We talked about the story yesterday. She's trending again today. But what is she like? I don't watch Euphoria, but Euphoria is a very big show. People love Euphoria. Seems like it's a show about high school girls being all sexy and dirty. And I'm going to take a pass on that. I don't think I can. I don't think I'm interested in anything they're going to talk about around the lunch. It doesn't seem like it seems like it's made for girls, right? It seems like it's made for young women and girls and all that. So fine. But Sydney Sweeney is also the star of White Lotus. Wait, look, whatever. Another HBO show that was so good. It's White something. I don't know. She's one of the stars of that. She's so good in that. So that's where I first became aware of her. And then I saw her in some other things. And all I could think of is, wow, she is really beautiful. I didn't even say it like that on purpose. It just came out like that. It's just beautiful. She is really beautiful. She is a really beautiful young lady. She's really beautiful, and she's very unique looking. Like she's not like the typical Hollywood bombshell. But also she's a good actress. Like she's a really good actress. Like she sells it. I saw her in that HBO show White Lotus, whatever. I'm not sure. And I thought, she's interesting. And I didn't really think anything of her. But then I saw her in a movie. I was watching some movie and I go, oh, that's the girl from that. Oh, she's good. She's good. So why is Sydney Sweeney trending? Because people are having the same reaction to this story that I did. And here's the headline. Sydney Sweeney just got engaged to a completely random normal guy who isn't even on social media. We need more Sydney Sweeneys. You know what? Let's just stick with the one. Let's keep her special. Let's not overindulge with Sydney Sweeney's. Let's just keep her. She's the one. People are going nuts on this because she's marrying a totally normal guy. He's just a normie. He's a rando normie guy. Just a normie rando. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. Stop it. And that's basically what people's reaction are. What the hell's wrong with you? What? Oh, now what are you trying to do? You're trying to normalize the billionaire class? This is not normal. The billionaire class. Oh, so what you're saying is she's not dating another actor. She's not dating another celebrity. Instead, she's dating somebody whose family holdings probably also include 20th Century Fox or Paramount or something. That's normal now. That's what we're supposed to be celebrating about Sydney Sweeney. That she's not marrying a cop. It's not like she just she met a cop at a bar and she's not marrying some guy who plays softball in a beer league on Tuesday nights. She's marrying a billionaire. Stop it. Jonathan Davino. Older guy too. Older. He's 38 years old. The Euphoria star, 24, and boyfriend Jonathan Davino, 38. Let's see here. Yeah, he's super rich. So, he's not normal. And that's why Sydney Sweeney is trending. He's not just some random normal guy. It's not like you had a shot. Because that story is designed to make guys go, what? You mean me who works 30 hours at the Jiffy Lube, I had a shot at Sydney Sweeney? No, you didn't. The son of the guy who owns the company that owns the Jiffy Lube franchise, maybe he had a shot at her, but not you. Jackson Mahomes is also trending today. Jackson Mahomes, he's trending because Jackson Mahomes, the little brother of Patrick Mahomes, the irritating TikTok dancer who people hate him. People hate his guts because he's the talentless little brother of Patrick Mahomes. And he became a TikTok star, probably because he's the talentless little brother of Patrick Mahomes. And then he did a whole bunch of asshole things. Like he danced on Sean Taylor's field marker when the Washington Redskins last year had the memorial ceremony for Sean Taylor, the great Washington Redskins player who died years ago. They retired his number, and I'm gonna have to take a break here for a second. I apologize, folks. I'll be right back. And we're back. Oh, I put the wrong one up. I got to go to the bathroom one up. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. We are back. You think even the closest people in my life, they don't respect when I'm streaming. All right. Back to Jackson Mahomes. Jackson Mahomes is now claiming that his life has been destroyed by the media picking on him. Jackson Mahomes, the media is destroying my life. He says, wah, wah. You brought it on yourself, dude. You are a part of the media. TikTok is a form of media. It's not traditional news media. It's not, lamestream media. It's not that. Media is anything. TikTok is media. Stop it. Streaming. This is media. This is all. Media is destroying my life. Okay, so you'll be getting off TikTok and you'll be, closing shutters on your YouTube channel and all that stuff. Oh, no. See, media is destroying me, but I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. I just want media to not criticize me anymore because I don't know if you know this, but my brother's really great. Jackson Mahomes, the younger brother of Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, is fed up with the media attention that he's receiving. Mahomes took to his Instagram story on Friday, according to Osimo, and shared a selfie with the caption, "I hate media news. It's destroying my life." In a second selfie post, Mahomes added, "I'm broken, I'm sad, and I'm disrespected." And that's all we need to say. You know what? I'm reading the story and I'm like, I don't care about this guy. Screw this guy. He seems like a total douche. He seems like a massive douche. So he did that thing on Sean Taylor's memorial he danced. Look at me. I'm doing a TikTok dance. Look at what I'm dancing on. That's Sean Taylor. Dude, do you have no sense? Come on. No, you didn't think maybe it's a bad idea to do this on someone who's being celebrated and memorialized on this day? You're going to dance for TikTok. Moron. And then there was another thing where he was being booed at a game and he was in a box. I'm in a box. He was up in a box and he just started dousing fans with all the drinks in the box and like just being an a-hole. And then there was another story just a couple of weeks ago where he walked into a crowded Kansas City bar with like 20 friends. And when the bar was like, yeah, we can't really seat you. We're crowded. There's a line. You got to get in line. You can wait your turn. And they're like, but I'm Jackson Mahomes. And he said all kinds of he was just a total a-hole at the bar. And then he went, I'm going to blow you up on TikTok. And so he went on TikTok and on Instagram and basically said, this bar sucks, man. And then like millions of people were like, no, you suck. Why? You're complaining because they didn't give you special treatment. And then the bar like got involved and it was like a really bad thing for Jackson Mahomes. It was a bad look. See, he doesn't have sense. He has no sense of how he appears to people. That's enough. That's enough with Jackson Mahomes. We don't need to do any more. We do not need to do any more Jackson Mahomes nonsense. Kim Clone is trending. This is fun. Kanye has a new girlfriend, and she is a Kim Clone. That's what everybody's saying. She is a Kim Clone. However, I don't think Kim Clone is the best way to describe her. I think he doesn't have a Kim clone. I think he's found a Spardashian. Oh, he's got himself a Spardashian. Get it? Not a Kim clone. He's dating Kim Spardashian. Oh, you don't like that one? How about this one? He's not dating a Kim clone or a Spardashian. He actually went out and found himself a Sim Kardashian. A Sim Kardashian. Okay, let's take a look at this girl. Why Kanye West dating Kim Kardashian lookalike is a display of his own narcissism. Now, I'll tell you, he looks so much. She, I'm close personal friends with Kim Kardashian. This woman looks so much like her that I thought it was her. I'm like, what are those? Are those pictures of? All right. So here we'll pull these pictures up. What is this, Kanye? Whoa, sorry. Yee. What is this? Yee. Is this like plan B? Just go out and get yourself someone who looks just like her? Boom. Look at that. That's Cheney Jones is her name. She looks just like Kim Kardashian. Here they are. Okay, yeah, I'll continue reading. Why not? Look, there she is. There she is. She looks just like him. The only difference is she's got a tacky-ass tattoo right here that Kim Kardashian would never have. That's probably the serial number because, after all, she is Sim Kardashian. Or do you prefer Kim Spardashian? Anyway, Kim Clone was the one that Twitter seemed to have. Twitter, tap out Twitter. Twitter, embrace my Kim Spardashian. Embrace my Sim Kardashian. Come on, they're better. Are there any other pictures of her? Yeah, there she is. Look at her. She looks just like her. She looks just like, unless when she takes this off, she's got like googly eyes. Then, but in the sunglasses. We're not going to read the article because I don't care. We don't care. We don't need to go into it. We don't need it. But isn't that weird? Like, I knew a story, and this is a story, somebody I knew, but I don't remember who, and I don't remember where the origin of this story is. But he was married to a woman for like 20 years, and they had kids and all this stuff. And the wife died. And then he ended up getting remarried. And he remarried his dead wife's twin sister. The identical twin sister. Seems to me it's an opportunity to mix it up. Seems to me it's an opportunity to taste some of the other flavors that are out there. But isn't that weird? Is it weird or is it sweet? I don't know. So you're married to a woman and she dies, and then she has a twin sister who's single, and you end up marrying the twin sister. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I know it's interesting. I know that's interesting. That's an interesting one to think about. I just don't know. I don't know if I have any problem with that. And I don't remember who it was. There's somebody in my life at some point that story was applied to. I don't know. Well, if I could, I'd tell you. I'd out their names. I just don't remember. All right. What else is trending today? Hannity is trending. Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity's former executive producer has been arrested by the FBI for being a Russian spy. Yep. Not his current executive producer, his former executive producer. He got caught up in all of these new breakdowns, these new sanctions against Russian oligarchs and all that stuff. And so, well, here, I don't want to just throw it out. Although I don't like to talk about Hannity, but kind of makes sense. Oh, by the way, Tucker was trending too, because Tucker finally apologized in his Tucker Carlson way for in the initial days of the Ukrainian war, basically singing the praises of Putin. Apparently he went on TV and went, well, I shouldn't have said that because Putin's a bad guy. And now Tucker's saying he's a bad guy. Okay, here we go. Where's the story? I'll give you the nuts and bolts of it. As the United States increasingly goes after some of the Kremlin's business tentacles, the latest person arrested for violating U.S. sanctions against Russia is less notable for his ties to Vladimir Putin than his ties to Sean Hannity. He is former Fox News EP of Hannity's show who left the show to launch a Russian propaganda network. The Department of Justice on Thursday revealed that Jack Hannick was quietly arrested in London on February 3rd for dodging U.S. sanctions by helping a sanctioned Russian oligarch, Konstantin Meleviev, start a right-wing propaganda television network. The Department of Justice simultaneously unsealed a grand jury indictment against him, accusing Hannick of knowingly engaging in business dealings with Meleviev, who had been... Anyway, okay, so there you go. That's the story. Russian spy. Hannity's the guy who used to tell Hannity what to say. Russian spy. Just throwing it out there. You got CNN guys who turn out to be kid pervs, and now you got the Fox people turning out to be treasonous traitors. Whatever you want. Amari Cooper is trending for us here in the North Texas, Dallas Cowboy Nation. Amari Cooper is trending. It's looking like he probably won't be coming back. Cowboys have to make it official with him by, is it the 16th or maybe it's the 20th? It's the 16th, I think. By the 16th of this month, if Amari Cooper is still on the Cowboys roster on that day at 2 p.m., March the 16th, Cowboys are on the hook for $20 million. So most people are saying that the Weesum threesome of Lamb, Cooper, and Gallup is absolutely not going to be back, which is weird because this could be a problem. CeeDee Lamb, look, CeeDee Lamb's great. CeeDee Lamb's great. He's going to be here. He's fine. He's still on his rookie deal. Amari Cooper is probably going to be gone because he's a big ticket item, and it seems like the Cowboys are trimming some of the budget. And Gallup, though, I mean Gallup, I think Gallup's a free agent too, but he's hurt. Like he might be best served just to re-sign, with the Cowboys. Because if you're a free agent and you're coming up, didn't he have an ACL? Didn't that happen in the Cardinals game? If that's the deal with Gallup, he needs to just re-sign with the Cowboys because his free agent money is gonna. Well, it already has fell off the table with that injury. Can't go into a free agency with that as a receiver with that kind of injury. They're going to want to see if you can bounce back from that injury. So that's why Amari Cooper is trending. It's believed that Amari Cooper will not be back with the Cowboys, but I think we kind of assume that. We've all been dreading that. Yeah, okay, so breaking, according to CNN right now, Russians are closing in on a third Ukrainian nuclear facility. So, yeah, like I said at the start of the show, it seems like they're going after all the nuke plants now. Fish fry. Fish fry is trending. Fish fry. For anybody who's listening, who's possibly in a more Catholic region, like some of my Chicago friends, this is a big day. It's the first Friday of Lent. That means no meat. Can't eat meat. No meat. Can't have any of it. Nope, none. So it's big fish fry day. God, I miss fish fries. Fish fries just, oh God, seriously, one of the most delicious things that I've ever eaten. Is just an endless supply. All you can eat fish. Fridays in Lent, man, when I was a kid, all you could eat fish. All you can eat fish, and it's battered, and it's fried, a little lemon and a little butter. And not fish. We're not talking about frozen fish. We're talking about Great Lakes perch. We're talking about stuff that's just yanked out of the bodies of water that surround us, cooked up fresh, and a nice breading. Oh, and it was all you can eat. You eat it all. It's like $10. Come on in. Eat all the fish you want. That was one of the great things about Lent. No meat. Also, when I was in the pizza business, cheese pizzas. Oh my God. You have to, this time of year, you have to order twice as much cheese because you're just going to be making nothing but cheese pizzas. It's okay though, because you make up for it without having to buy as much sausage. That's why fish fry is trending. People are talking about Lent and what the best fish fries are. I imagine this is just a lot of people in like Chicago, Wisconsin, New York, Boston, Cleveland, places where there's a lot of Catholics. But I did find this. This was interesting. This was sort of trending alongside of it. They put out a list. Which fast food restaurant has the best fish sandwich? Now, for my money, the granddaddy of the best fish sandwich is the Filet-O-Fish. You can't get the Filet-O-Fish is delicious. A Filet-O-Fish, the most underrated item on the McDonald's menu. The Filet-O-Fish, that tartar sauce, a little piece of cheese, the bun, the steamed bun. They're too small, though. They're expensive and they're too small. I could seriously eat 5. I could eat 5 Filet-O-Fish. That's how small they are. Filet-O-Fish on this list of like the 15 best fast food fish sandwiches. Filet-O-Fish comes in at like 14. It's like the worst. It's like the second to the bottom. I ain't having that. Who comes in at number 1? Let me see. Let me see what came in at number 1. You know what? I don't care that much. I know what came in at number 1. I was just going to play along. I was going to give you the top 5. But the number 2 best fish sandwich is the Culver's fish sandwich, which is delicious. Very good. And the number 1 is the number 1 fast food fish sandwich is I think it's something from Arby's. I don't know, whatever. Arby's got a couple. So go ahead. If you like a fish sandwich, there you go. But I don't see any reason to stray far from the Filet-O-Fish. The Filet-O-Fish is absolutely delicious. Al says, I double up on the Filet-O-Fish. Too much fish, Al. Too much fish. You mean you take you buy 2 sandwiches and you take filet from one sandwich, throw out the bread, and then just have it be like a double thick patty? Too much fish, Al. I think that's too much. Beside, the thing that's so great about the Filet-O-Fish is all of it together. Like I appreciate the mixture of the tartar sauce, the cheese, the fish, and the bun. So I don't need more fish to that. I don't need that double up. Look, hey, I applaud you. I think that's awesome. Good for you. It's just that's not going to be my thing. Adam Reyna says he likes the Arby's fish sandwich. The Arby's fish sandwich was very well represented. It was a top, I think it was the 3rd. So I don't go to Arby's because I'm not a loser, but if I did, I'm kidding. I've only been to Arby's like once in my life. Like once in my life I've been to an Arby's. They were known for beef sandwiches, and I grew up in a place where you could get a beef sandwich on every corner, and it was a different kind of beef, and it was better. And when you'd go to Arby's, I'd be like, this is garbage compared to the beef sandwiches that we can get. So I'm not a big Arby's guy. But if you're telling me that Arby's, and this poll said that Arby's makes a good fish sandwich, I might be willing to try that. I also liked fish sticks as a kid. I like fish sticks. I want fish fry, though. I want fried lake perch, fried in a pan with butter, and then served with tartar sauce and fresh squeezed lemon. And butter. Yeah. More butter. A lot of butter. A lot of butter goes into this fantastic, delicious meal. And they're so small. Like the little fish, the little perch pieces or whatever they are, they're so tiny. It's like you can eat like 50 of them. You just, it's so good. I don't know if I can get anything like that around here. All right, let's see what else is trending. I can't afford it anyway. Theranos is trending. Why is Theranos trending? Theranos is the company, the big fraud con company that was started by Elizabeth Smart. Elizabeth Smart. Oh my God, that's terrible. Elizabeth Smart was the little girl who went missing in Utah. Elizabeth Holmes started Theranos. And she recently was convicted for fraud. She dropped out of Stanford and got all kinds of capital investment from these Silicon Valley angel investors. She convinced them all that she had invented something that was going to reinvent the way people do their home health care. It's like a blood diagnosis machine where you can do blood tests at home, where you prick your finger, and this little machine that she invented would tell you everything that's wrong with you, everything. Blood tests in a second. So obviously there was a whole lot of money invested, and she didn't invent that. She thought it was a good idea, but she didn't actually have anything that worked. And so she went to jail. She was convicted. She's actually not going to jail. She was convicted like a month ago, and they're like, oh, you're a pretty rich young white woman, so even though you were convicted in late January, you don't have to report to jail until, like, I don't know, is October convenient? So she doesn't even have to go to jail. She could just spend the next 9 months having a time of my life. That doesn't happen for a lot of other people. But at any rate, Theranos is trending because Hulu has a new series starring that Siegfried girl, Amanda Siegfried. Siegfried. I don't know. Whatever. You know her name. Amanda Siegfried and Roy. I don't know. It's a new series on Hulu called The Dropout. And man, I'm so sick and tired of these trending platforms. This isn't a rant about The Dropout, because I'm very interested in this series. I'm going to watch this series. But you know what they're doing to us now? They got us all hooked with being able to binge series. They got us all. When it first came out, it was like, here's all 10 episodes of the first season. You can watch it in a weekend. And that was, like, to me, a TV watching guy, that was, magnifique. That was like the best thing. And then all of a sudden they started going, here's the first 2 episodes. New episodes every Friday. And that's what they're all doing now. And I think there's only 3 episodes of the Theranos series called The Dropout on Hulu. So, tits up to you, folks. I'm not interested. All right, The Batman is also trending. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, I know a lot of people are going to be heading out to see the Batman movie. I was going to go see the Batman movie this weekend. I was going to go with my son, but I made a terrible error in scheduling. I thought I had my kid this weekend, and I'm supposed to have my kid this weekend, but I don't. And I knew that I didn't. This was my mistake. This wasn't like the carpet was pulled out from under me. My kid's on spring break, and he's going to a beach with his mom. Him and his mom are like going to some beach in Florida for, a whole bunch of days. And that is awesome. And he's very excited about that. So now I get him next week. But whatever. We were going to go see the Batman. It was going to be a whole exciting kind of weekend thing. We're going to go see the Batman. The Batman is the new Batman film in the franchise. It stars Robert Pattinson. It stars Paul Dano as the Riddler. It stars Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, a.k.a. Catwoman. And Robert Pattinson, it's the guy from the Twilight movies. And people were like, I don't like him as Batman. He's getting some high marks for it. They're saying this is a very, very good Batman movie. People are really liking this Batman movie. Here's some of the critical response. By the way, it opens tonight, or maybe last night in some places. The Batman, and it's early in Batman. How do they go from like 50-year-old? What's his name? Ben Affleck. How do they go from like 50-year-old Ben Affleck in the last Batman incarnation, and now we've got like a young 30-something Robert Pattinson? Because this takes place in the early days of Batman's emergence, the very early of Bruce Wayne turning into Batman, and it's about how he goes in the eyes of Commissioner Gordon from being just a criminal vigilante to being someone that the police can actually request. It's that whole thing. So here's the critical response, and I didn't want to read a whole bunch of reviews. So here, this is just how Wikipedia has the critical response for the Batman, and you decide if yourself if you want to see this. The film has received overwhelmingly positive reviews from critics, particularly praising the performances of Pattinson and Dano. Dano plays the Riddler, but criticizing its nearly 3-hour runtime. Well, if it's so good, then you don't even notice the 3 hours. On review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, the Batman holds an approval rating of 85% based on 290 reviews, with the average rating of 7.7 out of 10. The site's critical consensus reads, a grim, gritty, and gripping super noir. The Batman ranks among the Dark Knight's bleakest and most thrillingly ambitious live-action outings. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 73 out of 100 based on 61 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Audiences polled by PostTrack gave the film an 88% positive score, with an average of 4.5 out of 5 stars. IGN contributor Alex Stedman gave a 10 out of 10 rating to the film, saying the Batman is a gripping, gorgeous, and at times genuinely scary psychological crime thriller that gives Bruce Wayne the grounded detective story that he deserves. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian praised the performances, but felt that inevitably night falls on the latest Batman iteration, with the cloudy sense that, of course, nothing has really been at stake. Oh, stop it. You saw a movie and you're trying to justify your job. That makes no sense. Did you like the movie? Well, of course I liked it, but ultimately I feel that night falls on the... Oh, shut up. And of course, when thinking about it in the existential, nothing is really accomplished. Oh, stop it. Did you like Batman? Did Batman beat people up? Was it cool? Well, yes, it was very cool. But ultimately, I hate movie critics. I really do. He liked it, but, can't be all positive. Writing for The National, Jason Mottram called The Batman one of the darkest and most compelling comic book movies of the modern era. while praising the performances, action sequences, and story. Digital Spy reviewer Ian Sandwell praised the performances and felt that it's easy to get Batman wrong, but Reeves here never even threatens to do so. The Batman is an enthralling, chilling, and fresh new take on the iconic DC hero that'll leave you desperate for another visit to this impeccably crafted world. So there you go. It's getting good reviews. The Batman is getting good reviews. So if you're so inclined, speaking of superhero nonsense, do you guys like The Boys? Did you guys ever watch? The Boys on Amazon Prime? I love The Boys. The Boys is so good. If you've never seen The Boys and you're looking for something cool to watch, The Boys is a take on superhero films or superhero genre that is awesome. It ain't for kids. The Boys is not for kids. The Boys is the story of a world just like ours, just like our world, same world, but in our world, superheroes are real. Spider-Man is real. Superman is real. You know, they're not called that because they obviously didn't have the rights to characters. But, you know, there's guys, there's like a fish guy who's like Aquaman. There's Homelander who's like Superman and all that. And in this world, all of the superheroes, they didn't get together and form a Justice League, you know, for themselves. They work for a big corporation. There's like a big giant corporation that is in charge, like Superhero Corps. I forgot what it's called. And of course, all of the superheroes in The Boys are portrayed as eat your veggies, kids, and stay in school. But then you see them at bars at night and they're like pro athletes. They're assholes. They're like total dickheads and they make all kinds of money and women are throwing them. And then they're on TV and they're like, stay in school, kids. You know, that whole thing. So it's really funny. And The Boys are a group of people who have been victimized by the bad behavior of the superheroes. And The Boys are like a vigilante group of just regular dudes who try and hunt the superheroes and kill them and expose them for being the dirtbag, conceited. It's basically like pro football players. It's like they're treated the way celebrity athletes are treated. And then when we find out that these celebrity athletes are like real dicks in real life, like they won't sign autographs and shit like that. So that's what it is. The Boys. It's really good. So anyway, Anthony Starr, who is so good in The Boys. Anthony Starr plays Homelander. Homelander is the Superman character. He's basically like Superman, and he is a dick. He is. He is. You take all the worst stories of Terrell Owens or anybody else, you know, being a dick out in public, Michael Irvin, you know, back in the day, any of the worst stories, and you just apply them to Anthony Starr's portrayal of Homelander, the Superman knockoff. And he is a dick. He is just a jerk, conceited. No one can touch him. He's just like a complete arrogant ass. But Anthony Starr is in trouble. The Boys star, Anthony Starr, has been charged with drunken assault while filming a movie in Spain. Anthony Starr was given a suspended 12-month prison sentence for an attack on a 21-year-old chef in a Spanish pub earlier this week. So basically, here's what happened. We'll get to it. By the way, he was arrested earlier this week. Trial's already over. That's how they do in Spain. That quick. Boom, bada boom, bada boom. According to the report, the victim's name was Araujo. According to the report, Araujo, who was said to have been punched twice by Starr before the actor hit him in the face with a glass, leading to the chef requiring stitches. He was a chef at the restaurant. Chef requiring stitches to a wound next to his eye. Araujo later told the press that Starr was very drunk at the time of the assault, which seems to have stemmed from a friend of the chef's asking the actor's friend to calm down because he was becoming a nuisance. So Anthony Starr, the actor, is in this bar and they're getting rowdy, him and his buddies, and they're drunk. And another dude in the bar says, "Hey man, you want to calm down?" And Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, jumped up and basically attacked the guy. Araujo later told the press that Starr was very drunk at the time of the assault, which seems to have stemmed from a friend of his asking for the actor's friend to calm down because he was being a nuisance. Starr apparently then launched his attack After being ejected from the pub, the fight then continued outside, during which it was claimed by Arahu that the actor yelled, "You don't know who you've messed with. You don't know who I am and what you've done. You've committed the mistake of your life, and I'm going to look for you. I want to kill you." Which is very in character. That is very Homelander. So there you go. I like Anthony Starr. I really like Anthony Starr. Anthony Starr was in another series on Cinemax called Banshee. I don't know if you remember the series Banshee. Very cool series. Very cool series. He was the star. He was the lead guy in Banshee. And now he's the lead guy in The Boys. And apparently he's acting like a dick. He's acting like a dick. Starr is currently filming in Spain the new Guy Ritchie Untitled film, which also stars Jake Gyllenhaal as an army sergeant on his last tour of duty in Afghanistan. However, Starr can be heard and seen as Homelander on animated Amazon series The Boys. There you go. Let's see. Let me see. Third season of The Boys arrives on Amazon Prime June 3rd. If you guys aren't watching The Boys, if you don't know what The Boys is, you might enjoy it. You might enjoy it. It's violent, it's crazy. Just shows superheroes as assholes in real life, like when they're away from saving people. Okay, that's about it. That's pretty much all I got. Let's jump in now and let's see what kind of stories and things have been trending since we started this show. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's see. Oh boy. Oh, what's this about? This is where we like to find out things live as they happen. Apparently, we got to boycott Coca-Cola now. I don't know why. It's a hashtag boycott Coca-Cola. I don't know why this has happened. Since Coca-Cola is selling in Russia and its business tax is going to Putin's... Oh, stop it. There you go. That's why boycott Coca-Cola. Because Coca-Cola hasn't done what the mob wanted. The mob is demanding that you've got... So what? Every American or Western business that is still operating in Russia, we need to demand that they stop and boycott them. Why is it just... Okay, Olathe East High School is trending here. Let's see what the latest is. I'm saying the name wrong. I'm all screwed up on the pronunciation. There was a shooting at a high school in Kansas earlier today. So let's see what the latest is. Okay, there's some videos. As of 42 seconds ago, it says the school is still in lockdown. 3 injured. Okay, so now we're up to 3. Here we go. Let's see this. This is our live updates from kansascity.com. 3 injured in Olathe East High School shooting. Waiting for the pop-up. Olathe, I can't say the name now. I'm so screwed up. A shooting at Johnson County High School Friday injured a school resource officer and an administrator Friday. This according to police. A school administrator and resource officer were injured in a shooting on a suspect who is a student was also injured and was taken into custody according to radio traffic. Okay, so that's the third. I told you I was listening to the scanner and they had said that there were 3. 2 were stable and 1 was critical. So I guess we're learning now that the school resources officer, who is the security officer, is stable. The shooter is stable. And the critical, I'm just piecing this together from listening to the scanner, the critical would be the school administrator, or as the police called them on the scanner, the principal, who they were performing chest compressions on. So we don't know. The high school located at 14545 West 127th Street is one of 5 high schools in the Olathe School District. The school has roughly 2,000 students. The district, which is in the suburbs of Kansas City, has fewer than 30,000 students enrolled. All right, here's an update at 1:57. Overland Park Regional Medical Center was treating 3 patients from the shooting. Hospital spokeswoman Christine Hannity said in a statement. said in a statement. One of the patients was in critical condition, she said. Another was in critical but stable condition, and a third was in stable condition. Hospital officials did not identify the patients. The hospital expected to release more information by 5 p.m. Okay, update. Amanda Chitty, an educator, says parents were awaiting to reunite with their children. All right, it seems okay. It seems under control. They have the shooter. Her son is a student at the school and was on a bus heading to the California Trail, she said. I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar with the area. I heard from my son. He's a 9th grader, she said. I called him and asked if he was okay. And he said, yeah, I'm just in homeroom right now. I said, okay. They just locked the doors. He said, yeah, there are 7 officers out there in the hallways with guns. He didn't really know anything. I just heard from him again, and he said he's on the bus. All right, so there you go. Here's another update. Both the injured school administrator and the school resource officer are expected to survive. Police spokesman Sergeant Joel Yeldell said in a briefing on Friday. The officer was doing fine and was talking with people at the hospital. The administrator was in stable condition. So maybe it's the shooter who's the one that's in like super critical. Frightened parents anxiously await word from children. Okay, that's from over an hour ago. Okay, so those are all the updates. Everything seems to be. It's funny. Like, what's the word to use? Everything seems to be okay. I mean, I don't know. That's not okay, but it's certainly not as awful as maybe we would think. All right, so we're supposed to boycott Coca-Cola. I might go out and buy some Coca-Cola now. Who are you kidding? You ain't buying Coca-Cola. You don't buy fancy rich people name brands. That's true. Yeah, they're trending there. Meghan McCain is trending. Not going near that. Roger Stone is trending. Don't care. Gucci is trending. That's something stupid. Some kind of Shane Warne. Yeah, the cricketer. He's trending still. Apparently, he's a big deal. Vontae Davis is trending. Why is Von? Yeah, okay. All right. I'm kind of. Uncle Buck is trending. Oh, John Candy is trending still. Uncle Buck is trending. Uncle Buck. On this date in 1994, the great John Candy passed away. What is your favorite John Candy movie? The View is trending. Don King is trending. Why is Don King trending? Hasn't Don King been dead for like 20 years? Hasn't he been dead for a while? Why is Don King trending? Yeah, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any reason that Don King is trending. All right, folks, that's about it. We're gonna sign off here. I've got a couple of phone calls that I need to go back to. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we didn't do this all day. What the? Where is it? There you go. If you're so inclined, help support the show with a tip. We do accept your tips. It's how we keep this show on the air. We did not do very well last month, but we made it. We survived, and we will make it through another month. We found a way. So thank you to all of you people in the last week who pitched in and helped out. But now it goes back to zero. So, back to trying. You got something, you tip it. That's all. No hard press. I won't hard press now for like a couple of weeks when I start to panic about the coming month. Anything happening? I'm trying to see if they're just talking. It's more Ukraine stuff. So here's the deal. There is no show planned for tonight. But any war stuff that happens over the weekend, possibly even tonight, I may jump on and do special streams where we get back into that if it cranks up, I mean, is that even the way to say it? I feel like there's just, well, we'll see. If something big happens, we'll get into it. Let me try and do this. Sorry. Ooh, there it is. Any kind of breaking news, any sort of, I'm going to do that now from now on. Anything big that happens, I'll jump on the stream as soon as I hear about it, and we'll do like really quick. And they may not be long streams, but they will be stuff to bring you up. There'll be just like little updates on, hey, this is breaking right now. So be sure and subscribe to the channel. Be sure and share the channel. Be sure and share any posts that you see about the show. Spread the word. Grow, 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 grow. Growth is slow. All right. Thank you all so much. Don King is still alive? I thought he's been dead for a long time. Wait a second. He's 90. Today's not his birthday, is it? His birthday didn't show up in any of the birthday lists that I look through when I compile my birthdays. Hold on. Don King is still alive? No way! Oh my God! Well, I mean, Al says. Yeah, he is. Holy cow. Yeah, no, he's born on August 20th. It's not his birthday. Don King is an American boxing promoter. I did not know that. I thought he was dead. Jennifer Blair Martin says Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is her favorite John Candy movie. Well, me too. I believe wasn't that my first choice earlier today when we first talked about the death of John Candy and I did my John Candy movie draft. I believe I took Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in the first round. Michael talking about The Boys, the show I was just talking about. He says the guy who plays Huey in The Boys is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's kid. Yeah, he is. And he's awesome. And he looks like a weird version of a Quaid. He's like the Quaid brothers. So you got Dennis and Randy Quaid, like Randy Quaid, not handsome, kind of like jacked up. Dennis Quaid, very handsome. Dennis and Randy look like brothers, but just like a few chromosomes in a couple different places turned one guy into a really handsome guy and the other guy into a big weird guy. So the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid kind of looks like he's right in the middle of that Quaid hijinks. He's kind of weird looking like Randy, his uncle Randy, but he's also kind of handsome like his dad Dennis. So I don't know what's going on with Huey, but I like Huey. Huey's one of the boys. Huey's like the main, well, not main, Bill the Butcher is the main boy. Well, no, Huey and Bill the Butcher, that's the reason that they came together. Huey was the victim and Bill the Butcher was like, I've got this group, join the group. Yeah, okay. I love The Boys. The Boys is so good. Jeff Glenn says, Pugs, I can tell you where you and Emil can catch a ton of sand bass at Lake Louisville in April. I ain't eating nothing that comes out of Lake Louisville. Are you kidding me? Ugh. I freak the F out when I accidentally drink water. When I get dunked in Lake Louisville and I accidentally a bunch of water. Lake Louisville is a toilet, but you can have a lot of fun there. You can have a lot of fun, but I ain't eating anything. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. But you ever seen what goes on in Party Cove? Have you ever seen what's been going on in Party Cove for like 40 years? Probably longer than that. I don't want another. You could probably get pregnant just swallowing the water accidentally. Ugh! Blech. Ross Rubio, look at you. He says he used to make fish stick sandwiches. That's a man who knows. He knows, of course. Get a hamburger bun, lay about 3 or 4 fish sticks side by side. That's good eating. That is good eating. April is disagreeing with me on the wonders of tartar sauce. That's fine. We can still be friends. You can disagree with me about tartar sauce. I happen to love tartar sauce. I love good. I have even made my own tartar sauce, homemade tartar sauce. JBM. That's what we call Jennifer Blair Martin around here. She says, speaking of Rick Perry, as we did, it's his birthday. Speaking of Rick Perry, did you know that some guy with the same name is running for governor in the primary this year, hoping he could get some votes from the old Rick Perry fans? Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, speaking of that, there was the primary. Why didn't we get to this? Why did I do this story? Hold on. Where is this story? Did you hear about the congressman who won his primary on Tuesday and then on Wednesday was like, yeah, I can't be a congressman anymore because I was having an affair with a woman who was somehow linked to ISIS. Where is he? Where is he? Where is this guy? Got to find his name. Where is he? Oh, Van Taylor. Okay, Van Taylor from Plano, who is a U.S. congressman who represents that area. Here's the story really quick. Texas GOP lawmaker admits to affair with wife of ISIS fighter. He's like this. Oh, I'm sure that he's like a good Christian GOP, Plano living, family values guy, Tea Party guy. He was a big advocate for the Tea Party, and he was swept up in the whole Tea Party. Yeah, he's hanging out with ISIS people. He's hanging out with. Oops. U.S. Rep. Van Taylor has dropped out of his re-election race after apologizing for reportedly having an affair with the widow of an American who formerly fought for ISIS. In an email letter to supporters, the Texas politician said, about a year ago, I made a horrible mistake. Yeah, you sure did. We don't need to get into it. That's funny. That's funny. Because these people, they're such frauds. Family values, Christian Jesus, Plano, running around with some young woman cheating on his wife, some woman who's all tied up with ISIS. He's a U.S. congressman. God, how humiliating. What's more humiliating, that you get caught running around on your wife and your kids and now you're going to be a pariah at your church and everybody thinks you're a dirtbag? I mean, it's bad enough if she was to turn out to be some, promiscuous young lady with a track record of, but she's like an ISIS lady. She's like a hating America, husband fought for ISIS. Crazy. Yeah, Van Taylor. That's him. Van Taylor. All right. Love you guys. Keep it close. We'll jump in if there's big news regarding the war or anything like that. And any other kind of news, too, we'll jump in. If we have a wonderfully quiet weekend, then I may even just jump in if I got something I want to do. But short of that, we'll see you back here on Monday at noon. Have a good weekend. Love you all. Bye. What's that, Jeff Glenn? Texas Parks and Wildlife says it's safe to eat fish from Louisville? Look at Jeff Glenn believing what someone in a governmental office in the state of Texas is now saying. Come on, Jeff! What's the matter with you? Are you nuts? Jeff, it says you're living proof that it's safe to eat the fish out of Lake Louisville. Don't you have some health issues? Don't you have? I'm very concerned because at some point you led me to believe that you were suffering. Yeah, I'm just saying.